A big announcement this week from Maryland Democratic Representative Steny Hoyer after he revealed that he is stepping down at the end of his term. Our Simone de Alba got a chance to speak with him today about what's next.
Congressman Steny Hoyer of Maryland, the third longest serving member of the U.S. House and a central figure in Democratic leadership for more than 4 decades, is stepping down and will not be seeking re-election. First elected in 1981, Hoyer rose to serve as House Majority Leader and Minority Whip, helping navigate major legislative battles while representing Maryland's 5th District. Today, he reflects on his long career and what comes next. Congressman Hoyer, thank you so much for joining me today.
Good to be with you. Thank you very much.
I wanted to ask you about your speech because it was so emotional. And in it, you said Congress is no longer living up to the founders' vision. And you've warned that the country could drift toward lawlessness. And I'm curious, if you were talking to our audience, what do you feel is most broken right now?
Well, I think the inability to work together collegially and listen to one another's views is something that was very present when I came here in 1981. And Republicans and Democrats worked together, and we worked together productively. And I think with respect for one another. Now, I think there's still respect for one another in many cases, but we've become so polarized, not only as a Congress, but as a country, that a lot of the legislation is either my way or no way. And I think that's not good for America. It's not the way the institution is supposed to work. And I think it's led to gridlock in many cases. And in the last year, we took off a lot of time and didn't work. And the reason we didn't is because Republicans, and particularly the Speaker of the House, decided, well, if we can't get it done our way, we're not simply going to meet. And we shut down the government for a long period of time. And we shut down government on long term because of health care. And yesterday we passed a health care with 17 Republicans, joined with every Democrat in making sure that people could still afford their health care.
Well, I wanted to touch on that.
That could have been done a long time ago.
That's so important you brought that up because, when you talk about bipartisanship, which has really been kind of a cornerstone of your entire career, and we saw that play out with the health care subsidies yesterday, you've urged members to, quote, renew their courage. Did some of that play out yesterday in your opinion?
I think so. Because they were criticized with undermining their leadership. And it wasn't a question of undermining their leadership. It was obviously reflecting their own personal view as to the policies that we ought to adopt. And that ought not to be dictated by the leadership. It ought to be formulated by the collective 435 of us. There are a few less than that number now, but bringing together what we think is best for our districts and for our constituents and reaching a consensus. And that's what's happened yesterday, and that's frankly what ought to happen.
And you can watch Simone's full interview with Representative Hoyer on WUSA9.com.